Hey Washington Commanders fans, today I bring some hot news that might get everyone excited for the next game. If you're one of those who doesn't miss any details about the team, stick around until the end because I'm going to tell you why Jayden Daniels is the key to our victory in Week 6. I'll cover everything about the matchup that's keeping everyone on edge. Daniels has shown talent since the start of the season, and against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, things are going to heat up even more. Now before we start, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because here we bring everything about the Commanders, with the best analyses and exclusive news. Well, you must be wondering, what to expect from Jayden Daniels against one of the best teams in the NFL? I'll tell you everything. The matchup between the Commanders and the Ravens has all the makings of one of the most exciting games of the season. And do you know why? Because Jayden Daniels, our golden boy, will face none other than Lamar Jackson, the current NFL MVP. And look, if there's a game that will finally prove Daniels is the future of the Commanders, it's this one. It's the kind of battle that, when you see it on the calendar, you start counting down the days. And it's not just us watching, you know? CBS also knows this game is going to be hot, so much so that they secured national broadcast. To start with, the way Daniels has led the Commanders is nothing short of spectacular. The team is 4-1, something no one expected for the first part of the season. And Jayden's impact is visible, not just in the stats, but in the team's attitude on the field. He brought a confidence we haven't seen in years. Now facing the Ravens, the challenge will be huge. But that's exactly what makes this match so special. Seeing a rookie face a quarterback of Lamar Jackson's caliber will be electrifying. Can Jayden keep up the pace? I bet he can, and I'll explain why. We know that playing at Mamty Bank Stadium in Baltimore is no easy feat. The crowd there is insane, and they'll do everything to make Daniels uncomfortable. But I have a bold prediction here. Jayden will throw a touchdown on the very first play. That's right, folks, right from the start. Our offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, knows he needs to take the crowd out of the game as soon as possible, and nothing would do that better than a TD right at the start of the attack. The Ravens' defense has talent, of course, but they've shown vulnerabilities early in games, and I think we can exploit that. Now think about it. If Daniels opens the game with a touchdown, it will completely change the pace of the match. It will show Baltimore that the Commanders are here to fight, and I'm sure it will boost his confidence even more. The guy has talent, and this play will be a turning point. But that's just the beginning, because I'm also predicting a stellar performance for the rest of the game. Another thing, folks, Daniels is under immense pressure. Being a rookie quarterback in the NFL isn't easy. Now imagine when the team starts surprising everyone. Expectations are sky high, but I see this as an opportunity. The Washington Commanders are playing with a sense that they have nothing to lose. No one expected us to be 4-1 at this point in the season, and that's an advantage the team needs to capitalize on. Sure, the Baltimore Ravens are the favorites, and the greater pressure is on their shoulders. And that's exactly why Jayden Daniels has everything to stand out. If the team plays freely and seizes opportunities, it won't be surprising at all to see Jayden come out with a passer rating of 120.0. I know it sounds bold, but look at what he's done so far. His confidence is only growing, and with a good game plan, he could very well match Lamar Jackson's performance. That's right, Jayden could come out of this game being compared to the MVP. Imagine the impact that would have on the Commanders' season. And the best part, folks, is that this game is a big test. Even if the Commanders lose, the team has already proven they're on the right track. But if we win, then the conversation changes completely. We start seriously thinking about playoffs, and not just as underdogs. Dan Quinn's team has shown they can compete equally with any opponent. And, to be honest, I think we can surprise even more. Jayden Daniels could be our secret weapon in this duel. In the last 3 weeks, the Commanders' efficiency in the red zone, that crucial part of the field where it's all or nothing, has drastically improved. I don't know about you, but one of the things that used to irritate me the most was seeing the team waste those opportunities. It was one of the strongest criticisms after our narrow victory against the Giants in Week 2. But judging by what we've seen in the last few games, that story has changed. And that's why I think against the Baltimore Ravens, this scenario will continue. We know the Ravens are a tough team, always with one foot in the playoffs. This game will be tight, margins for error will be minimal, and the stakes will be high. But that's where Jayden Daniels comes in. The kid is on an unstoppable streak, and if he continues like this, he could be the piece that turns this game around. He doesn't fear big moments, and that's what the Commanders need to silence Mamty Bank Stadium and make the NFL world look at us with respect. Look, We can't forget that Daniels made a big mistake against the Browns, an interception in the red zone. But let's be honest, that mistake ended up not costing anything because the team was on fire, and the result came anyway. Now, against the Ravens, it's a different story. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry won't forgive those mistakes. If Daniels wants to take a leap and show he's ready to be elite in the NFL, he'll have to redeem himself with a perfect performance. The good news is that Daniels is a resilient guy. He's the type of player who doesn't get easily shaken, and that's crucial. He needs to score in every possible way. And when I say every possible way, I mean it. Whether through the air, on the ground, however it takes. Our prediction here is that he'll combine for at least 4 touchdowns in this game. Will that be enough to beat the Ravens? Well, that's another story, but it's the minimum we expect. Now, if there's one thing Commanders fans must have noticed, it's that the Ravens' defense is no longer the fortress it once was. They're still dangerous, of course, but they're leaving room for opponents to gain passing yards. And that's something Jayden Daniels can and should exploit. Look at Joe Burrow's example last week. The guy played with ease against this defense, even with the Ravens coming out victorious in the end. They're allowing 280.2 passing yards per game. That ranks their defense as the second worst in the league in that aspect. Offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury is certainly eyeing this. He'll craft a balanced game plan, trying to keep the Ravens guessing, but I bet he'll also set up Daniels to throw the ball whenever there's an opening. Daniels has already proven he can do this, and there's nothing to suggest he can't maintain this level of confidence, even against a defense that, despite everything, is still highly respected. Speaking of which, the folks at FanDuel Sportsbook are setting the over-under for Daniels' passing yards at 224.5. But honestly, folks, he has the potential to easily surpass that mark. If the game turns into a shootout, a real offensive showdown, I wouldn't be surprised if he reaches 320 yards or even more. Now, just imagine, Jayden Daniels surpassing the 300-yard mark and still coming out victorious in a head-to-head matchup against Lamar Jackson. It sounds like a dream, but believe me, it could be reality. And that's exactly what we need to talk about now. Many are comparing Jayden Daniels to Lamar Jackson because of their similar playing styles. And let's face it, that's not a bad thing. Both are more than quarterbacks who can run. They're dynamic passers. When plays don't go as expected, they can improvise and use their speed and explosiveness to make something happen. But let's agree, this is the moment for Daniels to firmly enter the NFL elite. He's already won matchups against big names like Joe Burrow and Kyler Murray, but beating Jackson would be a milestone. I know it might seem like a tall order for a player still early in his NFL career, but if there's one thing we've already learned about Daniels, it's that the bigger the challenge, the better he plays. It was like that in college, and he's showing it continues in the pros. And look, don't be surprised if, against all odds, he manages to lead the Commanders to an epic victory against the Ravens. Of course, no one is saying it will be easy. The odds are against us, and the Ravens' track record at T-Bank Stadium is intimidating, but it's precisely at these times that great teams stand out. If the Commanders can leave Baltimore with a win, you can bet Jayden Daniels' name will be talked about in every corner of the NFL. And this might just be the beginning of our rise towards the playoffs. But what do you think? Will Jayden Daniels maintain this impressive streak against the Ravens? Can he surpass Lamar Jackson and lead the Commanders to another epic victory? I'm betting all my chips on him, but I want to know your opinion. Leave your comments and make sure to subscribe to the channel because the season is just beginning and there's still a lot of good stuff ahead. Let's follow every step of this journey together and hope Jayden continues to shine.